Hi. Well, I can start by saying I loved the music and I love the movie a lot, so which is always helpful before an interview. I was going to really begin. My first question was when Joe is playing on the piano, he kind of loses touch with reality for a moment, and he kind of forgets where he is. He's so kind of caught up in the music. As a musician yourself, is that something that happens to people?
Absolutely. As a musician, it happens to us. It happens to everyone, though. It could happen to you when you're making a cup of coffee, or you just going down the street and you catching every single green light. It's just a flow state. It's the kind of thing that you see in athletics when somebody just can't miss and they just keep shooting the ball and just going and going. I find it to be tapping into something that feels so much bigger than us, and you don't know how you do it. You just build your craft and you live life, and then those moments happen. And that's all of the greats have that kind of experience. They talk about it in different ways, but I kind of liken it to one out of every 100 or 200 times. But that's you play. That's the reason you stay at it for those times.
And have you? I'm assuming you've seen the film. Did you get quite emotionally involved and caught up in it? Because I mean, I cried my eyes out watching this movie. I just wondered if that was something you were able to have that kind of reaction to it, or if you were sort of so close to the material that you didn't have that kind of distance.
Oh, definitely. It
Yeah.
was very emotional. Imagining the process of the process of working on it and then seeing it after all of the work that we put into it and what it has become was emotional in and of itself. Just to kind of be a part of giving birth to this force of a film, but then to just watch the film for what it is, even if I hadn't worked on it, it taps into so many of those existential questions about life and about the meaning of life and our purpose. It's impossible not to be emotional watching this. I don't know how anybody could be.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, I mean, like you said, the film is a real sort of celebration of humanity in many ways and exploring what makes us all unique. But it's also very much a kind of celebration as well of music. And I know this is quite a big sort of broad question. It might be hard to answer, but I mean, music obviously is a constant in my life in some ways. You know, no matter what's happening in the world or in my life, kind of the songs I adore are always going to be there for me. And I'm just wondering yourself, what sort of how much does music mean to you? And I mean, if you can kind of attempt to articulate the impact it's had on your life.
Music is a spiritual practice.
Mm.
Music isn't just about listening for enjoyment. Music before it was commodified and put on t-shirts and sold and streamed, it was a form of people coming together in communities, and it was a form of social societal bonding and passing on of lineage and wisdom. And now when I listen to music, I'm tapping into different spirits. It's almost the way that you go to a therapist or a healer or a spiritual counsel or your pastor or whoever's your kind of to help you to heal. You listen to Coltrane and you get a sense of perspective about spirituality of life, or you listen to Miles Davis and you get some sort of the spirit of artistry and the spirit of creation and this kind of thing that you see in a work by Picasso. You listen to Billie Holiday and you get this kind of melancholy, and you tap into all of these spirits, and it's really a spiritual practice. You make times like you get every day to Stevie Wonder, the spirit of joy. And you just tap into them when you need them. The more you need them, the more you listen, and you feed yourself every day. I find myself to be a better person the more and more that I tap into music as a spiritual practice.
Yeah, because my final question now, because I could listen to you talking about music for hours, but I mean, this year, there's been such a tumultuous year in America politically and socially, and I just wonder, obviously, I mean, you've been kind of very active, and I've sort of in the kind of political side of things and doing protests. How big a role do you think the arts can play in times like this, in your opinion?
It's everything, man. That's the thing that unifies people when almost nothing else really can in that way. It has a power of diffusing tension, and it has a power of framing conversations in a very graceful way. And compassion it adds compassion to the dialogue, and it adds a certain sort of force, and it's a reckoning force that kind of reminds us that all the things that we're going through are bigger than us, because music in some kind of a strange divine way can tap into the heart of all people, no matter what their beliefs are, their backgrounds, and it has been doing that since the beginning of time. So to use music as a force to show people that, and to kind of put the mirror back on us and like, look, we're all in this together. If an asteroid hits, we're all gonna be gone. if you know, this is what we're dealing with. So let me play this music and let me minister to that, and then let's talk.
Yeah.
You know,
Brilliant.
that's what I use it for.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Jon. Been a real pleasure speaking to you, and best of luck with the film.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. Take care.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.